This is the second video of d orbital, d and f block elements, in which we will normally discuss the general trends in their characteristics, general trends in the properties of transition elements, in which firstly we will discuss atomic radii, atomic and ionic radii, atomic and ionic radii. So in this, first of all, atomic radii, generally d block elements, means it in a series, if we go in a series, that is from scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, the atomic radii normally decreases. This is the general trends, and what is the reason behind that? Because the nuclear charge increases as the atomic number increases. So atomic or ionic radii, it will decrease along a series. But from suppose chromium to manganese, manganese to iron, if we go iron to cobalt, cobalt to nickel, if we go nickel to copper, if we go like this, we will see what the atomic radii generally does not decrease abruptly, or the decrease is very less. What is the reason that the decrease in their atomic radii is almost negligible? That means, as for example, I can say that chromium to manganese, the atomic radii of chromium is 126 picometer, 127 picometer, I'm sorry, and the manganese is 126 picometer. So we can understand there is no abrupt change, it's normal negligible change. Manganese to iron, if you go, it's not changing at all. Iron to cobalt, if we go, it is only 125. So we can understand this is very negligible decrease in their atomic radii. So what is the reason behind that? Because as the electron enters in the penultimate shell, so what will happen? Penultimate shell, as from chromium to manganese, manganese to iron, the electron normally enters in the penultimate shell. We know that scandium, electron enters in the d orbital, penultimate shell. It is only 1 electron. Titanium, it is 2 electron. Vanadium, 3 electron. Chromium, we know that it is 5 electron. Okay, d electron is 5 electron. Even manganese, d electrons are 5 electrons. So what is the main thing? Screening effect also increases. Screening effect means as the electron enters in the penultimate shell, so this electron actually increases the screening effect. Increases the screening effect. Screening effect means there is a less attraction between the nucleus and the outermost shell electron. As a result, the radii, it will not increase as much as expected. So next is, what if we go down the group, what will happen? If we go down the group, we will see as the shell added, so size also increases. So first series and second series, if you compare, you will see that second series transition element will be larger. Second to third, it will be much larger, it is expected. But first to second series, it is increasing, but second and third series element size are almost same. What is the reason behind that? Second and third series, I said, second and third series elements radii are almost same. Second series means scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, I am saying about. Third series means yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, I am telling about. Fourth series, lanthanide series. Okay, so these are the, if we go for the yttrium series, that is the 4D series and 5D series, we will see their atomic radii. It should be there should be difference in between their atomic radii, but as means in the actual case, their atomic radii or anic radii, it is actually almost same. And what is the reason behind that? This is due to the what lanthanide contraction or lanthanoid contraction. Lanthanoid contraction means what? Actually the electron in the 5d series, electron enters in the f orbital. So what will happen, as their f orbital screening effect is poorest in between the s, p, d and f, so they could not screen the outermost electron from the nuclear charge as expected. So the attraction is high, so the size of the 5d series elements are not that much increasing, although their shells are increasing. So two factors are acting. Actually, one is shells are added, therefore the size should increase of the 5d series than the 4d series. But 4d and 5d, in the 5d series electron enters in the f orbital, and due to the poor screening effect of the f electron, so the size although increases due to the increase in the larger shell, addition of the larger shell, but due to the poor screening effect of the f electron, as nuclear charge is high, therefore the size does not means increases as expected, it does not increase as expected. Therefore the atomic radii of the 4d series and 5d series are almost same. So this question comes in board. Next question is what are the means the copper, I said you the atomic radii or anic radii, I am telling you about the atomic radii. Copper is 124, okay, copper is 124, but after copper if we go zinc, then we will see that its atomic radii will increase little bit. So what is the reason behind that? The reason is, in the zinc all electrons are occupied, in the d orbital is completely filled up, so due to the repulsion increase of this size can be expected. So these are the atomic radii or anic radii we have discussed, and next we will discuss the metallic radii. This was atomic radii, now we will discuss metallic character. To metallic character, why these elements are all metal? What is the reason that they are metallic in nature? The reason is, most of the elements of the transition metal, they are having what, 4s1 electron or 4s2 electron, so 1 or 2 electron in the outermost shell. So they have a high tendency to lose that electron to become more stable state, to have a more stable state, and they are having electron in the unpaired electron, number of unpaired electron in the n-1 d orbital also. So due to the presence of unpaired electron, they have high tendency to make bonds, the metallic bonds they are forming, and as they are losing electron, therefore they have a metallic nature, and higher the number of unpaired electron, higher will be the strength of their bonds, and the metal will be much stronger, or its strength will be much higher, metal will be more hard, you can say. So this is the main reason that they are showing their metallic character. Another thing is, what, as they are showing their metallic character, so their melting point and boiling point automatically will be high. So another one property we need to discuss, that is ionization enthalpy. So this is due to the, I said you, the 1 2 electron valence shell contains, so it can lose its electron, therefore metallic in nature. And another thing I said, that they are hard metal. What is the reason behind that? Because they have unpaired electron in the n-1 d shell, the d orbital, I am sorry. So this is actually due to the presence of the unpaired electron, they are having the tendency to form the metallic bonds, and higher the number of unpaired electron, more hard will be the metal. This is the general trend. Another thing is ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy, we can understand, we can expect that as they are losing their electron, they are having only 1 or 2 electrons, so their ionization enthalpy, it will be in between the s and p block. That means it is more than s block elements and ionization enthalpy, and it will be lesser than the p block elements. And few things I need to discuss regarding this ionization enthalpy. See, suppose if I say that ionization enthalpy of zinc and copper, if we are comparing this copper and zinc, ionization enthalpy, first ionization enthalpy means it will lose its first electron from the outermost shell. Copper, if it will lose its electron from the outermost shell, its electronic configuration will be argon, as it is 29, and it will lose one electron, that means what, argon 18. Then 4s, as we know that 4s1 and 4s 3d10 it is, so it will lose its 4s electron first, as for the first ionization enthalpy it will lose its 4s electron. 4s energy is lesser than the 3d, therefore the electronic configuration is what, completely filled d orbital, more stable in the in their copper plus, this one copper plus, that means first ionization enthalpy, as it is having that 3d10 configuration, it will be more stable. Its first ionization enthalpy will be then what we can expect, that yes, first ionization enthalpy, it will readily lose its electron, so its ionization enthalpy will be low. And for the zinc, if you consider, you will see it will be argon 18 and then 4s2 3d10. so if it will lose its it's a stable configuration, all are completely filled up, so it is its extra stability, it has its extra stability, so it doesn't want to lose any electron from the 4s orbital even, therefore its first ionization enthalpy is quite larger than the copper first ionization enthalpy. But if you see the second ionization enthalpy, copper plus, as it is stable, I am not telling in the aqueous solution, I am just comparing copper 2 plus, if you are considering about the second ionization enthalpy, or let us check this one, we cannot understand now because some reason there is a story in between copper plus and copper 2 plus. Generally we know that copper 2 plus is much more stable, although the electronic configuration with this we cannot explain this thing. Its reduction potential can answer these things. Means copper plus, once it will reduce, it will become copper, its electrode potential is high. And copper 2 plus, if it will accept 2 electron, same thing, it will be also reduced, but this reduction potential is much low and this one will be much high. So what will happen, as this is having high electrode potential, reduction potential, therefore they have a high tendency to be reduced. So copper plus is much more unstable than copper 2 plus. That is another story, that is another thing we will discuss later on. But now to discuss the second ionization enthalpy, I am telling you chromium and suppose or you can second ionization enthalpy we can compare, okay fine, chromium and manganese. Suppose I am discussing about chromium, atomic number 24, manganese 25, so it will readily release one electron to become chromium 24, to become chromium plus. It will release or it will release, this is the question. Chromium, as it is having the one electron in the 4s, its electronic configuration is argon 18 and then 4s1 chromium, 4s1 and then 3d5, this is their configuration, chromium 24. But if it will lose its one electron, as it will gain half filled stability, so it will readily lose one electron, fine. But what about the, but in case of manganese, if you see, it is having the electronic configuration argon 18 and 4s2 then 3d5. okay, so if it will lose one electron, it doesn't have any tendency to lose electron as much as like means chromium. Okay, so chromium generally will lose first electron more readily than manganese, but once manganese will, suppose manganese has lost one electron and it has become manganese plus, now its electronic configuration will be what, argon 18. If it is manganese plus, then argon 18, 4s1 3d5. Now see, it has a high tendency to lose another electron so that it will gain the half filled stability, isn't it? So it has a high tendency to lose one electron to become Mn2 plus. Okay, so second ionization enthalpy will be much lower of manganese 2 plus. Second ionization enthalpy will be lower than the chromium second ionization enthalpy, because chromium already have filled, it doesn't have any tendency to lose another electron. That means second ionization enthalpy of chromium is higher than the second ionization enthalpy of manganese 2 plus. So this is the manganese second ionization enthalpy of manganese. So this is the ionization enthalpy we can say about. And another thing is what the next topic is we need to discuss about. This is oxidation state. It's little bit larger topic. We can discuss color. Why the the transition metals are colored? Most of the transition metals are colored. It is due to the reason that once the ligands in the transition metal compounds, the negative ion or the ligands attack the transition metal, or negative ions, generally anion attack the positive transition metal, what will happen? The d orbital of the transition metal, they are not in the degenerate condition, means they don't have the similar energy that time. Then what will happen? Firstly, it will absorb the sunlight, and this d orbital will be it will be splitted up. Okay, the dxy, dxyz and dzx, this will be in the dxy, yz and zx. They form the lower energy level, and dx square, y square and dz square, these are the higher energy level d orbital. This 5 orbital, they are splitted into this 2 part, and now from the lower energy to higher energy, electron jumps by absorbing the white light. So the transmitted light comes out, therefore we can see the most of the transition metals are colored. Okay, another thing is what? So we can say why they are colored. You have to say the answer is, your answer is, you need to say that they are means due to the DD transition. This is called jumping of electron from this one, DD transition, they are colored. Okay, next one is what? Why they are forming the catalyst, means most of the transition metals are actually catalyst. Okay, so why they are having a good catalytic property? Due to the presence of unpaired electron. As they are having the unpaired electron, what will happen in the catalyst? And due to the variable oxidation state, they are having the variable oxidation state. Oxidation state, once we will discuss, we will again tell why they have the variable oxidation state. And due to the variable oxidation states, they can form intermediate product, okay, of lower energy, and thus the reaction can takes place. So another property of the transition metal, they are having the large surface area, so they can absorb the reactants. Okay, so this is the main reason that they can act as a catalyst. Okay, and they form the interstitial compounds. You know, interstitial compounds means in between the particles. Transition metals, small size hydrogen or carbon, they can take place in their interparticle space, and thus the transition metal can form the interstitial compounds too. Okay, so alloy formation during the means for the alloy formation, what is the reason that they can form the alloy? Actually, they are having the similar size. I said you that 4D and 5D series transition elements, they are having the similar size. So as they are having the similar size, another similar size transition metal can occupy their place. Therefore, they can form the alloy. Alloy means what? Mixture of the two metal or non-metal even. They will mix and form more durable substance. So, due to their similar size, they can form the alloy. Okay, so these are the main trends in their general properties, and next video we will discuss about that oxidation state. Thank you, children.